Why this story matters. This article highlights a practical example of progress driven by people, ideas, and persistence. Quick summary. This story highlights recent developments related to Philadelphia, showing how constructive action can lead to meaningful results. Credit the student loan doctor. When family medical troubles seemed to have struck down a top student's hopes for university, the administrators took action to lift them back up again. Now the holder of a doctorate and a successful entrepreneur, she has given back to the school that did so much for her by covering the cost of the entire senior year for hundreds of students. From the Philadelphia Inquirer, the story centers on Sonia Lewis, founder of Student Loan Doctor and graduate of Bodine International Affairs High School in the northern part of Philadelphia. Would you like to read more good news about Philadelphia? Support donation, education, inspiring, and Pennsylvania. Raised by her single mom and grandmother, both of whom were teachers, Lewis always excelled academically. Class president, student government, honor rolls, you name it, she was on it. But she was forced into a caregiving role when her mother was hospitalized with bacterial meningitis just after her grandmother had recovered from cancer. Tool suddenly moved to the backbench amid hospital appointments, form filling, and care for the household, which her mother couldn't do. Set to graduate in the class of 05, school principal Karen P. Hill noticed that one of the school's standout students hadn't applied for federal student loans and wanted to know why. I told the principal we don't have any money. We missed a deadline, Lewis told the Inquirer, remembering the conversation she had with Hill. There was no money coming in from my mom. We had my grandmother's retirement there, but that wasn't enough. Her grandmother, she said, considered taking out a second mortgage on her house, but Lewis wouldn't allow it. She planned to spend a year working and apply for the loans next year. Hill was having none of it, however, and Lewis got wind of her plans when, at the end of the year awards ceremony, each and every one was awarded to her. She ended up collecting $16,200 in academic fund and endowment stipends and prizes that are typically shared among the student body, but which the principal had channeled to a single student down on her luck. It allowed her to enroll at Bloomsburg University and pay for her first year of tuition. That set her on the path toward a doctorate in higher education. Once there, she earned scholarships, worked several jobs, and kept grinding. Before long, she was working as an academic coach and founded the Student Loan Doctor, which provides both consultation and planning for students in debt on how to manage or escape it. More inspiring scholars at 17, Sophia just broke her brother's record for youngest to pass the California bar. She has helped medical students in particular get hundreds of thousands in loans forgiven. But throughout all her success, Lewis never forgot the night when Bodine sent her off with thousands to her name when she and her family had nothing. A few days before winter break 2025, Lewis entered the Bodine auditorium with a massive smile on her face and big surprise on her lips. The students knew only that a successful alumni was visiting for a presentation. She was introduced as one whose journey began right here in this building, and she then explained to the students that as they begin to enter the period of applying for scholarships and worrying about tuition for college, there was one thing they'd be able to forget about. Small-town tradition sends off its graduating class every year with a free scholarship. That's when the Bodine High School Mosquito Globe walked out with a big cardboard check for $16,200, enough to pay for the senior trip, senior brunch, yearbooks, etc. of the whole senior student body. There have been larger such gifts to schools in America in the past, and there will be many more in the future, but one might imagine there will be fewer that mean as much to a single person as Lewis, whose school gave back to a star student in need. Article goodheadlines.org curates positive and solution-focused stories from trusted sources around the world.